The biggest thing that I keep seeing that is missing on accounts, and I feel like it's crazy. You guys spend so much money on top of funnel traffic. So the first one would be making sure that you overbid and crush and bully the competition within the search campaign. So you want to make sure that you raise the bids by a lot. That's one of the biggest reasons people are losing within remarketing campaigns. So what happens there is that you get a really quality traffic from Facebook and a lot of garbage traffic that doesn't convert. The next thing I feel like I could do a whole talk about, and I can talk about it like for days, is remarketing, and that's for some reason, that's the biggest thing that I keep seeing that is missing on accounts, and I feel like it's crazy. You guys spend so much money on top of funnel traffic. Why not squeeze everything that you can from the bottom of funnel? So, I mean, my rule of thumb when I test campaigns is that I do not open any type of top funnel traffic and any type of new top of funnel campaigns till I see that the bottom of funnel remarketing campaigns work. And if they don't, then change the angle, change the ads, change the landing page, I don't know. But make sure you have the complete funnel before you progress and open up a top of funnel campaign and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go into the deep technical stuff, but the first part would be making sure that your audience library is set up correctly. So what I like to do, even before I set up any campaign, is make sure that I open up all of the audience segments. So it could be the generic stuff like people who initiated checkout, people who added to cart and stuff like that. But it could be people who spend a decent amount of time on my website or also viewed products and stuff like that. And I also like to segment them out by days. So I usually open up like a 7, 40, 30, 60, 90, and 180 days. But you guys know how long your sales cycle is. So you want to make sure that you open that up and set the audience traffic and audiences library correctly. So you first want to make sure that you're really squeezing everything that you can from that top of funnel traffic. So I suggest you open up a remarketing campaign within all of the networks. So search, video, discovery, and also display, of course, because you don't know what's going to work. Like sometimes people guess and they say, yeah, maybe video is the right thing for me. Honestly, you cannot know what's going to work. And of course, if you guys have a lot of traffic coming in, even if it's just from one traffic source, you want to make sure that you segment or open up the campaigns and audiences that are closest to the end of the funnel. Okay, so if we're doing remarketing and we have a lot of people who just initiate the checkout, you want to make sure that you open up that campaign first before you try and scale further. So usually, even when I see an account running a remarketing campaign, it's running just like a video discovery or display campaign within Google. But if you want to make sure that you're really squeezing everything that you can, you want to make sure that you first have a search campaign. So you guys need to understand that when you're running any type of traffic, even from Facebook, even from, I don't know, places like Natives, where you buy really cheap impressions, then you're going to get a lot more branded and non-branded searches, because people nowadays are smart. They like to go and really research and go through the whole research and discovery loop. So they're going to see your ad on a discovery platform like Instagram, and then they're going to search for your brand and stuff like that. So that's the first thing I would definitely do. But these are like my 3 rules that you need to make sure that you have if you want to take advantage of good search remarketing campaigns. So the first one would be making sure that you overbid and crush and bully the competition within the search campaign. So you want to make sure that you raise the bids by a lot. The second thing would be making sure that you create different creatives. So usually, if someone opens up a search remarketing campaign, they would have the same creative as the top of funnel. So you want to make sure that you approach the audience in a different way. You don't want to tell them again what's your name and what you do. You want to take another approach. If the main reject that you have for people not converting is prices, make sure that you approach that in a different way. Create urgency, a sale, something like that. And the biggest thing for me, which is something that I'm going to talk about within the shopping remarketing campaign in just a few slides, is the different SKUs. So, for example, if you're running a search remarketing campaign for someone who already purchased from you in the past, you want to make sure that you send them towards another type of product. Sometimes it would be a bigger bundle. Sometimes it would be a more expensive product just because that person already experienced your brand and knows that you are legit. The second layer we're going to add is just segmenting the audiences through UTMs. That's one of the biggest reasons people are losing within remarketing campaigns. So what they do usually, they would open up the initial remarketing campaign. It would be traffic that comes from Facebook, which is really high quality traffic. And then they would open up a bunch of different campaigns through the Discovery network, maybe a display network, maybe some natives, and they would blend that into the Facebook traffic. So what happens there is that you get a really quality traffic from Facebook and a lot of garbage traffic that doesn't convert. So you want to make sure that you segment out the traffic, just like I told you initially, within the audiences library, and you want to make sure that you really segment it by using UTMs. So within the URLs that you're sending traffic to, you're going to have source equals Facebook, for example, and then campaign name is lookalike audience, for example. So when you set up that audience inside the audience segments, you have that specific audience and you can do a bunch of stuff with it. So, and of course, that really depends on the amount of traffic that you guys have. So if you don't have a lot of traffic, of course, don't blend it, but I'm talking about when you're starting to scale the campaign. So if you look inside my audience manager, you're going to see I have the Facebook audiences, I have my GDN and Taboola audience, for example, and then I would have everything segmented out by the type of audience, the targeting, and then by days. So this is just like an example, obviously, but the cool thing about Google is that unlike Facebook, when you add to Facebook a bunch of different segments, you're going to basically, you don't know where the conversion, the click, or the impression came out of. So you would have certain audiences, and you can't optimize, exclude, or bid adjust any of them. But the cool thing with Google is that once you set up different campaigns, different audiences within a campaign, you can see, okay, the conversion came from this audience or that audience, and then we can start to bid adjust it up or down, or exclude it. And one tip that I wanted to give you guys that is really crushing it for me is creating hidden SKUs. So you would have specific products that are not listed inside the website, but you would have them inside the Google Merchant Center, which is connected to your Google Ads account, so that certain people are going to see certain SKUs. So for example, people who abandoned cart, when they search for you or they search for your brand, are going to see specific products that are on a discounted price, but you can also send them to a specific product page that is optimized towards people who purchased from you in the past or abandoned their cart or something like that. So this has made such a big difference in my campaigns, just because every small change that you're making to that bottom of funnel traffic has such a big impact in terms of prioritization and stuff like that.